Hi, I'm Jonathan Eschner, NEA-Salina co-president for the 2018-2019 school year. Speaking on behalf of my co-president, Carla Nothern of Schilling Elementary, Dustin Burghardt of Central High School, and Amanda Freeman of Coronado Elementary. This video will go over proposed changes to the negotiated agreement during our negotiation sessions during the summer of 2018. NEA-Salina and Salina Public Schools met 3 times during the summer, and we reached a tentative agreement over the following issues on July 10th. These changes are all subject to your vote. The first change that we are highlighting is Article 3, compensation. If approved and ratified by the educators subject to the agreement, you will see an increase of $565 to the base and step amendment for all educators. If approved, the base salary would be $38,185. The district calculates this at a 3% increase for all educators that are subject to the agreement. It's important to note that these changes are due to increased funding from the Kansas legislature that was pushed and advocated for by members of the Kansas National Education Association in April as the clock was ticking towards a deadline, and the Kansas Association of School Boards, which also advocated for changes that would allow for increased funding for public schools. Some other changes to the compensation portion of the agreement are the speech pathologist and school psychologist will be placed at the MS plus 30 starting this year if the agreement is ratified. The reasoning for this is to help with recruitment and retention and losing reimbursement funds from the state. We have speech pathologists that we cannot staff, which allow then for the district and the co-op, to use online speech services, which we cannot receive funding for until January, and even then it would be a diminished rate. The district is committed to having real-life speech pathologists in the buildings, in the classrooms with the students, and this is a goal of the co-op and the district. An additional change for compensation is that speech pathologists will receive an additional $1,000 in pay, bringing this total amount up to $3,000. Again, the reason for this is to help with recruitment and retention and losing reimbursement funds. Speech pathologists can work also in the medical field, and so this will help us become more competitive with the local health sector in Salina. The next change to highlight is Article 1, hours and amount of work. It's important to note that a majority of negotiations centered around the amount of plan time that educators are guaranteed within the duty day at all levels. NEA-Salina's original proposal was for a medium increase of 50% for all grade levels, including our elementary specials. USD 305 administration had concerns about how to make these increases work with the current staff levels. So this was a huge chunk of time advocated by NEA-Salina to make sure that our concerns about plan time were heard. What we were able to come to an agreement to was that elementary educators that are K-5 classroom teachers will now be guaranteed a minimum of 235 minutes in their classroom for plan time. And then a joint NEA-Salina negotiations and USD 305 administration teams meeting regarding concerns on plan time that educators might have. And this meeting has to take place before February 15th and before schedules are finalized. The feeling is that this will allow us to provide input to administrators about your concerns about plan time at that meeting before schedules are finalized and before they're made. The next area of change is Article 2, leaves. A little bit of background information on the leaves change. You may remember back to last summer, if you were in the district, when you voted that you were approving a joint committee of NEA-Salina members and USD 305 administration and board members to sit on a joint committee and develop changes to the leave policy. NEA-Salina, for the past 6 years approximately, has encouraged or negotiated, had negotiated changes to the leave policy. This change that we are proposing and have tentatively agreed to is a highlight of those years in which we asked for some changes to the agreement. This is a major change for the 305 administration and the way that they view leave. So again, this is only a highlight of those changes, and we encourage everyone to read your agreement for all changes. So let's look at what a paid time off model looks like. From here on out, you will receive 10 days of paid time off. If you have been in the district for a while, you have more than 10 days currently, those became sick leave days and have been for a long time. But under this proposal, you will receive 10 days of paid time off this year that you can use within certain guidelines. You can use up to 5 days off consecutively of those 10 days if you so choose to make that choice. There are still blackout days that will apply. A change to that blackout policy is that parents can use leave for a child's play day or school event if that event occurs on a blacked out date. Work with your building administrator on that. At the end of each year, educators can sell back up to 5 days at $50 each, rate of $50 each. And all other days could then be banked as sick leave. So to give this an example, let's say you use 2 paid time off days throughout the school year. You get to the end of the school year in May. You have 3 days that would become automatically sick leave. And then of those 5 that are left, if you chose to make this choice, you could sell 5 of those days that were remaining at a rate of $50 each. So that is a major change. Another major change is that after 15 years of service in the district, you can sell any days that are in your sick bank at a rate of $75 for each day. This is a significant increase from the previous rate. A side note, there are many educators in the district that have more than 100 days of personal sick leave within their bank that they've accumulated over their years of service and dedication to USD 305. You will not drop below 100 days. You will be allowed to keep above 100 days as long as you have 100 plus days. Once you get down to 99 days, then you will be subject to that 100-day cap. But any educator will be grandfathered in that has more than 100 days as long as they keep above 100 days under this proposal. Some other additional changes. The District Health Insurance Committee has been a long-standing committee within the district, and the district has agreed to continue that effort. NEA-Salina has 2 educator representatives. There will be some guidance to the committee from negotiations. The committee will meet at least 4 times a year, and that committee will have an increased focus on communication to all staff about any future changes to the health insurance. It's important to note that USD 305 is self-funded and that everybody in the insurance field is struggling with the changes to insurance and increased costs. The goal here is to help communicate that change better and to have the committee meet more than a few times and meet throughout the year to best understand how to handle those changes that need to take place to keep the district health insurance fund healthy, money-wise. Some other additional changes, addition to the early notification and retirement or those leaving USD 305, we are adding under this proposed language, a change to their early notification to add fall semester in with that. So if you were to let the district know in December, the last day of December of that semester, that you would not be returning, you can receive up to $750 in addition. This does not allow for you to leave in December. You have to continue working through the end of the current school year, but it does allow for you to receive additional money if you know that you're going to retire in December. And this is in addition to the $500 rate that you can be provided if you let the district know by February 1st. Some other changes, changes to Article 1, Section C. The additional staff development days allows more flexibility for principals to have if your building does not approve the additional days. You can have small groups use those dates if your building votes not to accept additional days. And then there's some minor word changes to the professional appraisal system, or PAS, that is in line with fair dismissal of an educator in Article 5. Those are the highlighted changes of the negotiated agreement. Just as a reminder, you can find 40 plus years of work by NEA-Salina members in the negotiated agreement on our website, NEA-Salina NEA-Salina.org, or on the USD 305 Human Resources tab on their website. Encourage you to go check it out. What's next? USD 305 Board of Education has already given tentative approval pending ratification vote by USD 305 educators. Voting will take place Wednesday, August 8th through Monday, August 13th. So if you have questions before voting, please ask them. We would be glad to help answer those. But the vote will need to be concluded by Monday, August 13th. NEA-Salina will be using Election Runner software to run the vote using your USD 305 email. The email will come from an Election Runner server. This software allows for us to have secure elections in which it's a secure ballot and an anonymous ballot, so we do not know how you vote on the issues, but allows for us to get the voting done in a relatively easy time frame. Again, if you do not receive your ballot, please reach out to us, nea.salina@gmail.com, and we will be communicating multiple times through email to let you know about the voting process as well. Results will be announced via USD 305 email and NEA-Salina social media platforms. You can see that we are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at those different handles. And also you can find the results on our website, nea-salina.org. We want to thank NEA-Salina members for supporting our work. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at nea.salina@gmail.com. We thank you for your time, and we wish you a great school year.